I think I finally figured out what I wanted to do. I did some of my fun sprays, my gel food coloring, just food coloring, whether gel or liquid. It was both my food coloring fun sprays. I made a video. I'll put it down below in case you missed it. Yeah, I gessoed the pages. And then when that was dry, I sprayed some of my sprays. And they were beautiful and vibrant and wonderful. And when I let it dry, they dried back considerably. Way more than 20%. Like watercolor is generally about 20% lighter when it dries. The food coloring sprays in this particular project and these particular colors dried back a lot. But I remember Noah saying, just spray it again until you get the level that you want. So I did 2 or 3 times. And I'll put the pictures up here as I chit-chat, because every time I sprayed it, it was great, but then it dried way back. And I sprayed it, it was great, and it dried way back. 2 or 3 times, and then I said, chuck it. I'll get out my watercolors and do it right. So this is a combination of the fun sprays, which are under 2 or 3 layers of watercolor. And all I did was hold the book upside down and sprayed it this way because I wanted the drips to go that way. And then just let it dry like that. Just let it do what it's going to do. Let it naturally dry. Because as I said in my watercolor tips, if you're in a hurry and you hit it with a heat gun or a hairdryer, it stops that beautiful movement of the watercolor. The reason I love watercolor is for the movement and the blossoms and the blooms and the intermixing of colors on the page. And if you hit it with a hairdryer, boy, that just stops all that action. Sometimes you need that, sometimes you don't. So if at all possible, I don't hit my watercolors with a hairdryer or dryer of any kind, because then you wouldn't get these beautiful blossoms and this intermingling. I really like this, and I struggled because I want something else on it, but I'm not sure what. I think what I'm going to do is find some good quotes from one of my words collections and fussy cut this out and just have it look like it's clipped to the page. I think that's what I'm going to do. On one hand, you might want to see it. On the other hand, you might want to look away, because I love the way it is. But again, and I hate to be such a copycat, but the other day I was watching Carrie at Mixed Media Arts, and she does a lot of just abstract painting sometimes, just paint. And I love her bold strokes. Get something that I like. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like to just leave it because I'll like it. But that's taking the easy way out, and I generally don't do that. So here we go. I have this beautiful metallic black, sequin black. Pretty see-through. I probably should take this one out of the box one of these days. Today's not that day. Tomorrow doesn't look real good either. It doesn't help that I'm doing this with a craft brush and not a decent paint brush. I just grabbed a brush and I thought, well, I'll just throw on some black line. I should have grabbed a decent brush. I think that's all I'll do for right now. I'll let that dry and I'll put the focal point on. So that black metallic, I think it's called black sequin black metallic folk art brand, just Walmart or Meyer. Has quite a bit of shine to it. I wouldn't call it a metallic necessarily. Here where it's thicker, second coat, it might show up really cool on a jelly plate, which is why I got the metallics. But I thought it'd be pretty cool on here. It looks wet. It is not. So that's kind of neat. I guess that's different than regular black, eh? But only where I loaded it up. Here where it's thin, see some brush strokes. There's no sheen at all. So apparently you gotta load her up. I don't care really. I just wanted to throw down some black. And I threw down some black. So that's what we did. I have my little images here that I'm going to use. And you probably won't be able to tell once I get it down. But I did go around the edge with a black pen so that they might stand out a little bit better. Probably when they're down here, I'll have to go around them again. I have one for there, and then I have this fabulous guy. I don't want that coming right out of his elbow. I don't want it going through there. I don't know. Guess it's going to have to shoot out of him somewhere. Oh, such decisions. Oh my God. And he can't be too much in the crack, so I guess that's going to have to shoot out his arm. That's all right. Whatever. My quote in my guy is from one of my books that I got a long time ago at a thrift haul. The quote is, "The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who only reads newspapers." I'm paraphrasing, because apparently I can't read. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. Thomas Jefferson. And I just love this guy. You may or may not have noticed. Of course, I don't really do a lot of flip throughs. I've done a few, but I don't put people in my books very often. Dogs, for sure. Dogs will be all over the place. Dragonflies, loaded. Precious few people. When I first got my house, people were buying me tchotchke, things to decorate the house. Little critters, and I don't know. And I finally ended up having to kindly say, thank you, no, on the collections of tchotchke. But if the cute little elephant is standing on a stack of books, cool. If the cute little fairy is reading, fine and dandy. So I'm putting this guy in because he has a book in his hand, and I love this kind of black and white illustration. So I'm making an exception. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the coolest showing through there. I think I'll take my Stabilo pencil. I was editing some videos today, and apparently I keep calling this a Stabilo pen. It is a pencil. I don't know why I keep saying pen. I want to put some shadows in here. I really like the drop shadow on the right-hand side and underneath. Now, I don't know if you saw it, but I went off and I put some Stabilo. I got it in my white. And once you get it wet, ooh, she's there for a really long time. I found if you get it rid of it while it's dry, it's a teensy bit easier. It still makes a mess, and maybe it depends on the paper, because this isn't really budging. In fact, it's making it worse, so you gotta be careful where you put the stuff, because dang. Using one of those makeup brushes that I saw Know It Art using, just a cheap makeup brush from $1.25 Tree. I put it in some water and I got most of the water off of it, so it's barely damp. Because I don't want the stuff running all over the place. I just want to soften it out. And I think one of the reasons I like using this is kind of like making a smoky eye. When you're doing makeup, softening that smoky eye out. Same concept. I'm taking some of it off because it gets pretty, it can get away on you pretty quick. And because this is watercolor underneath and I've got it wet, I'm now disturbing some of my runs, so I have to just not muck around too much and do what I came to do and move on. When I'm going off camera here, I've got a glue pad, and I'm just wiping that excess black off this brush. And a teeny, tiny bit of water on this brush goes a long way with this Stabilo pencil, I say to remind myself. There. Kind of simple, but less simple than what I was going to do, which is just leave it. So I like that. I think that's all right. I might take some black and just make just a little bit of a spatter on here. I may or may not. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think these things are ever done. I think you can futz with them and futz with them and futz with them until someone takes it away from you. So I like how he turned out. Pretty cool. So that's now 3 pages done of my, what did I say, 22, 24, something like that. Quite a few. Still lots of pages to play with, and baskets full of stuff to fill these pages up with. So that's pretty cool. Another one done. Thank you for hanging out. Always good to see you. You take care. Go love up your bee sleeves. Mate at the lake. Out for now.